What's going on? I just wanted to knock this out really quickly. The main reason, I'll just be honest, two things. One, the Countdown to Revolution video that I did. You can find that thing. I did it a couple of days ago. Shockingly large amount of people have watched that and commented on it and messaged me about it, how much they enjoyed that. A few people said that it actually got them to buy the pay-per-view, which is pretty awesome. Pretty great. I don't get a percentage of that or anything, but I still think it's pretty amazing. That, and I got this in my P.O. box. It's not a t-shirt, but it is from Pro Wrestling Tees. So what I suspect this is when I went to Dynamite a couple of weeks ago, there was an employee there. There's my kid running around. There's an employee of AEW, who shall remain nameless, who said, "Oh, you're wearing the disposable masks." Yeah, I was masked up, and I have tons of those disposable masks because through a job, it's a long story. So they said, "Oh, we got to make sure you look right." And so that's what I suspect this is. That's one of the reasons I'm doing this video. So I'm going to open this thing up, because what I'm hoping is when I go to Revolution, and I am going.
I said 20 new masks.
Let's see this. Cool. Yep, sure enough.
20 new masks.
AEW mask. Super cool. Super cool of them to send that for me. I think it's awesome. Yes, indeed. So mask and the other add-ons. So, whoop, cool. Really cool of them. Certainly the right impression made on me. And so, Revolution. I'm going to be there. There's going to be other notable people there. I might even get to meet somebody that I used to write with at Lethal Wrestling, like in the late 90s. Mid to late. Oh my God. Old. But they're going to be there as well. So we're all trying to meet, and I'm trying to meet people that I've communicated with who have given me information about things that I've passed on to you guys. It turned out to be absolutely 100% correct. So I'm excited about all of that, but I'm just going to do a quick rundown of what you're going to see at Revolution. Why is this show a big deal? I think this show is a big deal on a sort of a bigger meta level because, again, pay-per-views don't really exist for the WWE. And so AEW books in a manner that's much more traditional than what we're used to in the last 20, 30 years, which is you build things up and then you have your pay-per-view and you're trying to get as many buys as possible. Now, AEW usually averages around 100,000. This one I predicted in the AEW Revolution, the road to, or the Countdown to Revolution show. I said they're going to get at least 150,000. I think I may be playing it short. They've done such a good job promoting this show, and they have definitely the right elements and the right literal gimmicks that's part of this thing to really have it be an attraction. The pre-show is Riho and Thunder Rosa against Britt Baker and Rebel. So that's fun. That's exactly the kind of match that's going to get that particular crowd rolling and rocking. There's the Casino Tag Team Royale, 15 teams, in case you doubted that AEW had a very packed and stacked tag team division, right? Miro and Kip Sabian versus Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor. This is one where I think they really need to showcase Miro in a big bad way while keeping Orange Cassidy cool. So we'll see how that one goes. That's the match, if I'm being honest, that I'm the most worried about. Here's one of the matches that I'm one of the least worried about as far as how good it's going to be. I think the Face of the Revolution ladder match is going to be amazing. Scorpio Sky and Penta in particular, I think are really going to show out. You got Cody Rhodes, you got Lance Archer, you got Max Caster, and there's one other person who's sort of to be determined, I guess, according to this. So that's interesting. That's interesting. Hangman Adam Page against Matt Hardy in the big money match. That's fun because it's one thing I learned when I went there live is you really don't get a sense of how over Adam Page is. He's incredibly over, but in front of a live crowd, they're going to go nuts. And I imagine Daly's place, I don't think they're going to pack it, but I am curious to see what that space looks like because they do a great job social distancing and all of that. But when they have a 1,000 people there, it's really the way that it's sort of shaped that area. Really, you're going to get a nice cacophony of noise there, and I imagine they're going to pack the ringside with other wrestlers that are not on the card and that kind of thing. So I'm really excited about it. So Adam Page is mad over. Speaking of mad over, Sting and Darby Allin against Brian Cage and Ricky Starks. I think AEW's done a good job of setting up this idea of like, you were worried that Sting wouldn't be able to bump? Yes, he can. Were you worried that Sting wasn't going to do anything? Yes, he will. They've done a really good job about that. So that should be fun. Young Bucks versus Inner Circle, which I heard is actually opening the pay-per-view itself. The Britt Baker tag match is the pre-show, but the first match is going to be Young Bucks against Inner Circle, which I think is pretty great. And then you've got Hikaru Shida against Ryo Mizunami. A lot of people aren't impressed, really, with Ryo Mizunami, but I am. I love that she's doing such a distinctly Japanese thing, and she's not having to change it or sugarcoat it or round it out for an American audience. So for me, if it's true that Shida booked the tournament, this is a match that Shida wanted. I think because she realizes now that AEW has slowly shed this image of their women's division is horrible, I think this is a match where they're really going to go for it and show out. And then, of course, this main event. Exploding Barbwire Deathmatch. I'm so excited about this. I've taken in so much deathmatch stuff. I've written a number of articles about it. I wrote a separate article about Jon Moxley, how I think he's the new Roddy Piper. And I think this match epitomizes that, right? You got Omega and Moxley, just as you had Piper and Greg Valentine do this dog collar thing, which set the wrestling world on its ear. I think this is also doing it. Plus the announcement that there's going to be some kind of big name showing up for this thing, which everybody, even people I know who don't like AEW, have been talking about. They've really done a stellar job with this pay-per-view. So I'm very much looking forward to being there. I'm going to spend Sunday night there. Just so I can take it in and not have to worry. And no matter how late I am out after the pay-per-view, I can just go comfortably sleep. And then I'm going to have breakfast with friends the next day before I head back. In any case, I'm really excited. I'm really excited to wear my AEW mask. Many thanks again for sending that. That just makes me feel good. And meeting people and just having a good time. I have not been to a pay-per-view live since WrestleMania in Orlando, when the Hardys showed up and all of that. Isn't that crazy? You can tell I'm very excited. I've gone to a ton of live wrestling lately, thanks to ICW and No Peace, and AEW Dynamite. But I'm really excited to go to this. I'm gonna be at and working. You'll see a lot of those shows WrestleMania week. But I don't know if I'm going to go to WrestleMania itself. I don't pay to go to wrestling shows. So maybe if I get hooked up with tickets, I might go to WrestleMania. It's 2 days too, which is like, meh. Whereas this, I just expect it to be this barn burner. The only thing about this show is I think it might be very long. So I'm going to have to plan accordingly as far as, I don't know. I'm just excited. And if I'm sitting with who I think I'm sitting with, I mean, I think it's going to be a combination of talking like bookers, but then also just getting into it and being fans. So I'm just very excited about the show. You're going to get a badass report based on the thing. But I'm going to be there, which means you're going to be there in some way, shape, or form. Cool, right? Anyway, this has been Stephen Platinum for Platinum Show Investigations, AEW Revolution 2021 in Jacksonville. 10 more seconds till 10 minutes. So Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my ragtime gal. See you there.